It's start time with the Star Roddy Rod.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Vanna B, and right now get checking in, tapped in with the star, the homie, of course, Mr. Roddy Rod. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and support, alright?
It's star time. It's your boy, the Star Roddy Rod, and I'm back. Yeah, so on this episode, I'm gonna discuss my college days. Want to discuss my college days. So, as many of y'all may not know, I went to high school and I went straight into college right after I graduated high school, 2007. June, of course. So in September, August, I started my road into college in this little school in Brooklyn, New York, called CityTech, New York City College of Technology. It was a brand new experience. Saw a couple of familiar faces around the campus. A couple of people that left high school with me, a good 10 to 20. But, they weren't in my classes, so, it was a little different. This point in time was like definitely a different point in my life where I had to just branch out. Well, we all did, because we all had different majors. So I did this summer school program before entering college, where they'll give you credits to get ahead. I think I did a reading class, if I can remember. It was an English reading class. So in that class, it was a couple of people. Everybody was freshmen. It was cool. I met my main man's Ray Mack in that class. So I saw him, in that class, and of course he's 6'5", so he's very hard to miss. 6'8", I mean. So he's hard to miss. So I seen him in the classroom just chilling in the front. And then I see him on the bus the next day. I walk up to him like, "Hey, I know you from class." So, from there, we just started to take the train and the bus together to go to school. That class was cool. Then that class was a little before August. Maybe that class was July into August. And then the actual semester of the school came. And I had my first set of classes. I had like English, math, philosophy, a couple of other classes that I don't remember at this point, but it was cool. It was a fresh start. Going to college was very different because I came from my high school where it was majority Hispanic, black kids, and the sort of Arab kids that sort of lived in the area. But now going into college, I go to college with everybody. Muslim, Egypt, every race, every nationality, guy and girl. So I ended up my first few years in college hanging out with this guy that was actually an Asian born here. Yeah. I had an Asian friend in college that was born here. And I noticed a difference because he grew up here, so he didn't have that broken English like most Asians did. He had perfect English. He was into anime a lot. He knew what rap music was. He knew the TV shows that was out during the time. So, yeah. he was very Americanized. Just the fact that he looked at Asians and his parents came here. So I had a couple of Muslim friends that was in my major classes. I had a Jewish kid who I was friends with and hanged out with for a little while too. Like I was coming into and there was this popular Muslim girl who just loved black guys. So yeah, you know, it was a whole different culture shock. That's all I got to say about college. No, it's crazy. So as the years went by, you know, you start to build connections with the people that's in your class. I took major classes, maybe the third or the fourth semester, and then every semester I had to take was like math, English, science, an elective, whether it was philosophy, psychology, science, accounting. Yeah. No, it was a nice experience because on that school, like, there was 3 different buildings. You would go to building 1 was the main building, and it had 2 buildings attached to it. Then you had some buildings up the street that you would go only if you had classes in. Because, you know, they had a security in front that would definitely want to see a badge in those buildings. I feel like CityTech was so easy to get into because people that weren't even going there used to come over there and chill for the day. Like, and they had a lot of they had activities on Thursday. Like Thursdays at 2, they used to just block out. They had no classes, nothing. From 2 to like 4, you would have no classes. So during that time, it would be like club hours, where like in the atrium, the basement of the school, we'd go and we have things to do, or you just meet up with people who you haven't seen all week. You know, this was the time for me to really see my people that I knew from high school, people that I knew from childhood. No, because nobody had class, so everybody was just chilling. Just had to find out where they were. As I got later deep into college, though, I started to really make, like, I wouldn't say friends, but acquaintances. Because we had the lunchroom crew where you go and you chill out in the lunchroom. They play dominoes. They play what else they play? They play dominoes. They play Uno. They play all types of games in the lunchroom. No, just time to chill. And during that time, I was able to meet a good couple of people. No, when you meet all those type of people over the time, and then like I had a cousin. It wasn't really my cousin, but like we knew each other from small. So I consider him my cousin because we knew each other from like real young. He introduced me to the lunchroom crew, and it felt weird because after a while, he would stop coming because he got deep into his major or whatever the case is. So I was left to make friends in the lunchroom crew, and my guy, Ray Mack, he stopped going to CityTech after like the 2nd year. So it was a big change to have to meet new people. I really had to but it wasn't hard. I met some girls, twins. I met some people that was in my classes. I met a lot of people in my major. And it got to the point where like I would schedule my next semester classes. I would register with people that I would know to lessen that weirdness of going into a class where you know nobody. So things got better, no? Know what I'm saying? I was going to school during the week, during the weekend, after like maybe 2010, 11, I go to the club with the fellas, nightclub on Friday, Saturday night. Then like as I got deeper, closer to the end of CityTech, I started to like take my work serious because I want to pass. I want to get out of there, I did take a semester off after I got my associate's degree because I felt like I didn't want to continue working. No, going forward, I wanted a break. Now, I took the semester off in hope that I would land full-time employment, but that didn't work out for me. I ended up staying home all the months. And then when the next semester came, I ran back into the school. There was a time that I was like CityTech is a school where you didn't have to have like a high GPA, like a 4.0 or 3.5. But once you was falling back on your classes, they did put you on academic probation. I had failed a math class one semester. They put me on academic probation. So I had to go to summer school and retake that math class to stay in the school. Once you fail in CityTech, they send you right to Kingsborough Community College. Kingsborough was kind of far from my house, so I didn't want to go that route. The classes I liked in CityTech, I liked the science class. I like classes that were more outside my major because it gave me a chance to meet new people and it gave me a chance to get more connections. Like when you have classes in your major, you're with those same people all the time unless they drop or they take a different time of class. So I enjoyed classes that was not part of my major because I got to meet girls, basically. A lot of different people, guys and girls, was in the classes. I was taking computer major, so a lot of those classes only had guys and tomboy-ish girls. Like girls that that weren't into girly stuff and would dress in guy clothes and talk about stuff like skateboarding and whatnot very casually, anime very casually. Girls that weren't dressing up as girly girls. So I could say it's college. It's like every other school. I had my good professors. I had my bad professors that I disliked. I dropped out of a couple of classes, and I flunked some. And I also had to readjust to getting there and being ready to work from an early time. Because there was a class I don't know what was wrong with me, but I took a class at 7:45 in the morning, and I had to drop that class from lateness. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I took a class on Saturday because it was a lab. Most times when you have a class with a lab, you're in the class for like 3.5 to 4 hours. So I said, let me knock this out on Saturday. I'm not taking no 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock class or 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock class. it just felt easier to take it on a Saturday than to draw that out in a week or draw that out within 2 times a week, you know? My college was fully paid for by my parents, so I didn't really have to come out of pocket for college. And because my parents was in the middle class, I didn't receive Pell or FAFSA, none of that. I didn't receive no grants to go to school. It was one semester I received a grant, but then I couldn't receive it again, and that helped us out a little bit. I wasn't a straight A student even in college. I was more of a B minus, C, B plus student. And it didn't bother me. It only bothered me because my younger sister was in competition and she liked to show off that she gets straight A's in like all her classes. And if she got a grade lower than like a B, she gets so frustrated. For me, I didn't care. I know people made big deals about grades, but after you get your first job in your field, nobody looks at that no more. Nobody. So a lot of time in that school, I ended up being there for a good 5.5 years instead of 4. Like, I could have graduated in a flat 5 if I didn't take a semester off. So like, it was really weird because I was taking classes with a lot of people, and you know, I wasn't taking no more than like 12 credits, which when you look at some of the classes, that's like 3 classes or 4 classes at a time. So even if I wanted to, there was no way I could have finished out without taking those full course loads. So by default, a lot of people had finished school before me, graduated a year or 2 before me. My friend from Robeson, Kevin, he finished in 2012. And I actually showed up to his graduation. And I was like, and then it was crazy because, like, you know, right after that, he started his life and he wasn't even in New York no more after that. So that was like it was a lot of changes going on. By the time I came back from my last year of CityTech, I was just basically over it. I was just basically going to class, leaving, doing the homework, going to the lab, doing what I had to do. I wasn't talking. I didn't know nobody at that point. It felt like the people that was placed in the class was like people after me. So it was this one Jewish kid that was annoying, but he was the only one that was talking to me. Other than that, when he wasn't there, I just sit in the corner and just be quiet. Like it was different for everything, because even with the lunchroom crew, they finished. Yeah. I really, at that point, ended up getting me a little security job because I was bored. I would just go to class and leave. It was nothing for me to. I couldn't even hang around CityTech. It was nothing really to do. Like, so that's basically what it was with the college years. So after that, I did a little internship at the Department of Probation, like in 2012. And with the internship classes, you have to do a presentation So I teamed up with somebody. I had to link up with somebody. We did the same internship. We did our presentation. Um, yeah, but mostly like any other senior class, you write a lot of essays, you write a lot of you do a lot of presentations. That was basically my my final year of college. My final year of college composed of me just presenting and doing essays. So after I finished college, I finished like in December of 2013. And my family was so proud of me that they wanted to throw me a graduation birthday bash right in Brooklyn, not too far from where my parents were, where I was living at the time. So it was a good celebration, have my family, my friends pop up. I'm all dressed up in a nice suit. It was good to see people come out for me and celebrate me finishing school finally and graduating. It was a good feeling, man. It was a really good feeling to know. And then a couple months later, graduation day came in June of the next year. And walking across that stage, knowing that I finished school and accomplished this was a bittersweet feeling. It really was nothing like it. I kind of miss going to college, but I don't, because I'm kind of glad that I'm over with it. Right now, it's hard for me to even want to go back to school, because going to school was never something I enjoyed, especially how hard it was for me to finish college and get out of there. Like, it was really something, man. And I'm glad I did it. I enjoyed that experience, So, it's really a good experience to go to college. I'm glad I did it. And it was able to get me a job paying higher than most in the field of IT support. And a future episode, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about what it's like working in my field every day. But this is the college days, CityTech. Over and out. This is the Star Roddy Rod, and I'm the host of Star Time. So I want to tell y'all about this awesome show that I'm on called the Premier Boys Podcast, where it's just me and 3 other brothers, Ken Mr. Gentleman, Ken Talk Aaron Sands, and Long Live the Chief Matty Mal, discussing topics of the culture and our opinions, latest news topics, latest stories, scandals, and we have a lot of fun doing this, We talk our own opinions. Sometimes it's real raw, real raunchy, and sometimes it's just fun and games. So, listen to it with an ear, of enjoyment. We're here to entertain you, We talk about topics of the news. We talk about reviews of shows. We just talk about anything from music to current events and everything in between. So you can catch us on Wednesdays on all streaming platforms with the exception of Spotify. So after you listen to this, go right ahead and listen and subscribe to the Premier Boys Podcast. Recommended by me, the Star Roddy Rod of Star Time. All right. It's start time. Thank y'all for listening to College Days, episode 3. So this one, I will have a part 2 coming real soon with a guest, and we'll talk more about our college days together. Um, Shout out to I Am Hype. I was on his podcast show called How to Hustle podcast, and you can check that out on all streaming platforms, also on YouTube. And shout out his camp, the GFT Radio family. They're very supportive of me and the Premier Boys podcast family. So check out their shows. They have a lot of good episodes up there too. Sunny and the crew. So yeah. Also, you can catch me here every other Monday on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Podchaser, Radio Public, and of course iHeartRadio. Check me out on the Premier Boys podcast with Ken, Mr. Gentleman, King Talk Aaron Sands, and Long Live the Chief Mally Mal. Every Wednesday, check us out there on all streaming platforms except Spotify. We really going deep for that. Real good podcast. Also, check me out on Mr. Gentleman podcast. Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle presents the Old School Show, coming every Thursday in May. Also, make sure you subscribe, you like, you share, and I'm available on Instagram at the Star Roddy Rod. I ain't gonna say how to spell the star, but Roddy Rod is RODDYROD. No, I'm there. I'm available. You can chat with me. You can tag me in whatever you want. And I just want to thank y'all for listening. So this is start time, and I'm out.
It's your girl Maiden Petty, and you're now listening to Star Time.